Check it. On July the 10th of 2025 in East Point, Michigan, Afeni Muhammad walks into the McDonald's where she works. And hours before this incident happened, she was sent home after a dispute with her manager by the name of Jennifer Harris. But she actually came back, and then she stabbed 39-year-old Jennifer Harris, a single mom of 6 precious kids, 6 multiple times, killing her at the workplace. But 2 days before all of this happened, Afeni posted multiple times furious rants on Instagram claiming that her manager was a bully, saying she couldn't even take it anymore. The warning signs were there, man. But the mental health crisis in fast food restaurants, man, it's ignored. Like, nobody pays it no attention until somebody dies or someone gets hurt. And that's sad. Like, that's showing that we don't pay enough attention to it. Well, I do, because I'm always going to fast food restaurants. You know, I might be doing a little side hustle, door dashing, and I pick up on energies and attitudes. I can tell if someone has a mental health issue, or somebody's damaged, or somebody just walking around full of anger. But anyway, I'm going to get back to talking about this video. But here's what we do know about this situation. As far as Jennifer Harris goes, it's like she was a 15-year-old veteran at this McDonald's, and she was aged 39 years old. A single mom of 6 precious kids, and she was raising them on her own. But by all accounts, it's like she was dedicated to her job, trying to provide for her family, her kids. You know, she was a single mama, so you can imagine how hard it was for her. Like, she did it all by herself. She didn't have the baby daddy around, you know, raising kids without a father figure. And you just a mama, and you the person that gonna have to make sure they eat and put clothes on their back and keep up the rent and the bills. That can take a toll on a person. You know what I'm saying? It really can. I fully understand. I do. But it's still no excuse for the fact that Afeni Muhammad took her life. That's not right. That's BS. You know, and that goes to show you people out here, they not mentally stable, man. They not. People out here are mentally jacked up all the way from the floor up. But Afeni Muhammad, she was 26 years old, and she worked under her, you know, as a cook, a cashier, if I'm not mistaken. But on July the 10th, the two had some type of argument, you know, in the workplace, and details are still pending, but it's coming out in court, some of the details. And from the details that have been coming out, it's like hours later, Afeni came back. That's for sure, and that's for certain. But the witnesses who were there, they are saying that she walked back into the restaurant and attacked Miss Jennifer Harris, man, and stabbing her multiple times in front of other customers and other workers within the restaurant. And you know, if my thing is, this is my question: if customers were in there and they were men, you know, a man is stronger than a woman. Why they didn't try to intervene and stop it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to understand and realize a man is stronger than a freaking woman, man. So if a man, whoever was there, and you know, they could have at least said something. But from the sound of this, it sounds like nobody didn't say nothing or try to do nothing at all. You know? And that's crazy to me. That's crazy. But it's sad because Jennifer passed away on the spot, on the scene, right then and there on the spot. And after that, Afeni was arrested. Afeni Muhammad. Yeah. They took her to jail after this. And she was charged with first-degree murder. Carrying a dangerous weapon. Yeah. A knife can be considered a dangerous weapon, just like a freaking gun. And her bond is set at $25 million. That's a high bond. But for murder, anytime somebody commit a murder, that bond gonna be over $1 million. But here's what the mental health piece come in at right here. 2 days before all this happened, right? Afeni posted multiple times, multiple videos on Instagram under the username Risen Phoenix. And Risen Phoenix is a weird ass freaking name. Risen Phoenix is something demonic. From my understanding, it's a demonic symbolism behind that name, you know, but I'm gonna look into it. I should have looked into it before I made this video, but she was ranting about her manager, calling her a bully and claiming that she was being mistreated and blah, blah, blah. But these posts were, you know, these posts are still on the internet right now on Instagram. Just go to Instagram and type in Risen Phoenix and you will see these videos. It is still there. And that should be evidence in court. And that should be something that psychologists and other types of people research and look into and learn from this situation. That's another thing, because we need to prevent this from ever happening ever again. And that's real talk. But the judge actually ordered a mental health evaluation, you know, to determine if she was competent or not, you know, competent to even stand trial. And the results came in this month and she was found competent. But her preliminary exam is still moving forward. So that goes to show you, they know she has common sense. She know what's going on around her. She know what she's capable of doing. And she also knows right from wrong. So basically, in so many words, they are saying she knows better. She just did that out of rage. And she did that to be evil. Basically, that's what the courts are saying. That's how they see it. That's why they are still charging this young lady with this murder, man. You know? And it's common sense. Common sense, man. She has common sense. She's not crazy, man. Not like everybody think. But she still has a mental health issue. Because she don't know how to control herself. She don't have self-control. And this happens all the time with people in restaurants. Especially women. I know women in restaurants always have attitudes and they are always angry, man. But here's my question right here. If the warning signs were there, my thing is, and it's visible like this on social media, I'm like, man, why didn't anyone intervene to allow it to make it to this point? You know what I mean? Why didn't nobody get into it to stop it? Like, that's crazy to me. You know, you have GMs, area managers. I'm pretty sure some of the managers have her social media or co-workers or somebody. Somebody should have said something, because this situation should never ever made it to this point, man. But understand these warning signs are, you know, they typically appear before someone commits the violence or the act. You know what I'm saying? In the workplace. But warning sign 1 is public expressions of rage or hopelessness. And that was a sign, you know, when she made those rants on those videos, that was your sign right there. That was your signal right there. But nobody ain't say shit. And she posted all those times on Instagram back to back for months and months. But people don't understand this. Research shows that when someone, you know, speaks consistently, publicly expressing intense anger, feelings, or being done wrong, research shows that usually something always happens with that individual who expresses their anger out on the internet or on the phone or in public or whatever it may be. Something always happens. You know, research shows that. It really do. It really, really do. And that's why I'm screaming, like, why nobody ain't say nothing? Like, that's crazy to me. But I want to talk about why fast food restaurants ignores mental health. And let's talk about the system real quick that failed both Afeni and Jennifer Harris, right? Because this isn't just about the person, but it's about, you know, the situation, about life, about society, about other people that's around. You know, you have to worry about their effects from this, how they're going to cope with this after this happened, because they were there and seeing this happen firsthand. But you have to understand, like, fast food restaurants don't have access to insurance and mental health programs and psychics and psychologists, and counselors and things of that nature, like your big major companies that have 401k and health insurance, you know, and so forth. Like, fast food restaurants don't have none of that at all. But most fast food restaurants, or better yet, most fast food workers don't have health insurance. You know, you have to understand, these people not even making no more than like $10 an hour to $12 an hour or $15 an hour. And they can't afford no therapists or psychologists. You know what I mean? But that's what's needed in the fast food industry. But Afeni was clearly in distress, but she didn't have access to counseling or medication or any type of mental health support. She didn't have it. You know? And system failure number 2, no workplace mental health training. Like these managers in these McDonald's, Wendy's, Steak and Shake, Captain D's, you name it. These restaurants don't have mental health training. They don't train these managers and give them, you know, they don't teach them the signs to look for when people about to psych out. Because, like, I see this every day going to these restaurants. I see how people attitudes are, and I see how quick people are to become angry. I dealt with a situation 2 days ago when I was door dashing. I walked into a seafood restaurant, and I was dealing with a situation with a black woman inside a restaurant with a whole attitude. So these issues need to be stressed, man. It needs to be stressed. Yes. So that's why I decided to do this video on this. But anyway, I talked my head off. If you like this video, smash the like and subscribe button. I'm going to end this video until the very next video. I'm out. Peace.